If you read the book, you know the story in Green Lights about Matthew's experience as an exchange student with a rather unusual family in Australia. The Australian family, the Dooleys, did they ever reach out to you after you reached your fame? I was curious.
We have reached out every time I do press in Australia or even via satellite. So I'd be talking to, say, like, you're in Australia right now, and you're the Australian press. Hey, good day, Matthew. And they'd be like, every time they go, we got some great friends of yours here. And all of a sudden, someone would lean in the screen, and it'd be Mr. Dooley. And I'd be like, hey! Or they'd pull up, and every, an interview in Australia, they'd start pulling up scrapbook pictures. Hey, here's a picture of you with the Dooleys. And I was always like, yeah, that was me. I was there. So they would either be in studio or send in photos of me with them when I do Australian press. So they always reached out.
I see Camilla dyeing your mom's hair, and you guys have been hunkering down together. How's that been?
Well, pretty good. I mean, it has its challenges. I think everyone knows that if they, in some fashion, it's at least been awkward to everyone having to hunker down to whatever extent anyone's quarantining out there. We chose to go get my mother out of the retirement community about 10, 11 months ago. Brought her in, so it's her, myself, Camilla, and our 3 kids, and now 4 dogs. So when I always said I wanted 8 kids, my whole family said, well, now you got 8. So you got Mom, you got Levi, Livingston, Vita, and 4 dogs. Well, it's not really 8, but it is 8. It's a lot. Look, the trick with Mom is this. As long as she's got a book to read and a cold glass of Kendall Jackson at 5:30, she's easy. But boy, don't run out of books and don't run out of KJ. You run out of those 2, it's hell around the house. It's neat. Her and my wife, Camilla, her daughter-in-law, have really struck up a nice friendship. And it was Camilla's idea. Mom's 89. She's got a hell of a lot of energy. I don't think she's going anywhere soon, good Lord willing. But Camilla goes, I think your mom, who's such a great personality and comfortable in front of the camera, I think she might dig if I start bringing her into my shows of Women of Today and stuff. And we always talk about, relevance. We all want to be relevant, right? And maybe will Mom enjoy putting something out? And damn, does she enjoy it. Mom's the one that comes up afterwards and goes now to Camilla. So what were the comments like? So what'd they say? Can you show me? Can you send me some of those? Oh, I like the good ones. So Mom, she's digging it. She's 89 and she's feeling current, which is, from interviewing the eldest and healthiest people in the world, that's part of growing older and living longer, is feeling current. And she's great, and she's funny in front of the camera and loves to do it. She's actually the bigger diva than anybody else in the family.
I love watching her and Camilla together. Over the years, we've seen McConaughey get deep into character.
Newsflash for y'all. Ain't nothing out there can kill Ron Woodruff in 30 days.
Whether it's the dramas like Dallas Buyers Club or his romantic comedies.
You bet I am.
You amaze me, True Detective. How do you get into these characters? A Time to Kill, one of my favorites. Yeah, how is it that you're able to go there?
So, you start off just taking, it starts off with the written word. If it's a good script and a really well-written character, for instance, True Detective. I originally got offered the role of Marty Hart that Woody played. But the guy who I wrote down, I can't wait to hear what comes out of his beeping mouth every time I turn the page, was Rustin Cole. So I'm reading and I'm going, whoa, I was shocked by what was coming out of his mouth. Got tingles, and I was like, this guy has identity. Mm-hmm. This guy, so I don't go and judging a character. I really try to look for identity. Someone who has a really strong identity. I'm usually attracted to sort of outcast. If you look over the last 12 years of dramas, I like the outcast, the person who's making up their own rules.
It was all the same dream, a dream that you had inside a locked room.
Most of us know Matthew McConaughey is a huge sports fan. Pre-COVID, you'd find him on the sidelines at UT Austin cheering on the Longhorns. So I had to ask. Do you have a pick? Are you going for anybody particular?
Well, I don't have a pick yet, but boy, here's what I think would be glorious. I write in the book about my least favorite word in the world is unbelievable. like I think is a stupid word, right? Like when things are awesome or somebody does is so extraordinary, we go, unbelievable. And I'm like, well, I don't like that word, because actually when we see awesome things happen in life, there are things that make us actually believe more in the potential of humankind. Well, we've got this little subplot called Tom Brady, who, just look at the math, 43, leaves his team, who's been in the playoff every year for, I don't know, a decade, doesn't make the playoff, goes to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they make the playoffs. That's already extraordinary. Wait, they win their first playoff game. What? They go win the NFC Championship. What? They're in the Super Bowl. What? Boy, for him, what if he went and won the Super Bowl? Talk about redefining awesome and potential that a person and we personally can have. Wow, that redefines it. So I'm kind of leaning for that would be beautiful, because that would inspire so many.
Yes.
Beats like that, it's already incredibly inspiring, but it would just trump the gesture of inspiration to go, wow, I did not think that was possible. How many times did I not think it was possible, yet he showed me it was possible?
Of course, McConaughey loves a great storyline, and he will be making an appearance this Sunday in the big Game Day Showdown, but not how you think.
Lately, I haven't been feeling quite like myself.
Definitely a great chat with Matthew McConaughey, and for all those who are inspired by his new book. I've seen comments too. We like hearing this rawness, like, okay, my family was like that too. So I'm sure you're hearing a lot from your fans. How's that making you feel?
What is one definition of successful art? Well, for me, it's that it translates. Meaning I told a very personal story, but yet here I am talking to you because it meant something particular to you, for you in your life. Now here I am 14 weeks on the tour of talking about this book. I'm still at number 2 in the New York Times bestseller. That tells me that people, it's translating. It's becoming more than, hey, let's read about Matthew McConaughey's life. It's becoming, no, what he's saying about his is shining a light on my own life individually. And that makes me feel great. That's what gives me the tingles. My art's translating. My personal story touched into the humanity of many more people and translated to the masses. That feels great because it's the truest, most permanent piece of art that I put out, more than any movie I've ever done or anything else I've done in my life.
We are super excited and happy for you, Matthew. Thank you for taking time.
Hey, and thanks for digging the book. Thanks for sharing that you dig the book. Thanks for having me on today. And I'll say it, just keep living and solo sigue viviendo.